So my name is Daniel Padulo. I wrote it, directed it, acted in it, produced it. I was the Hunt in Bushwick.
Congratulations on Best Outstanding Writing for the Showman Oaks Film Festival.
Thank you.
Tell us about production. Where did it come from? How did we get here? All the things.
So I wrote it in my office during my day job.
Multitasking.
Don't tell anyone about that. But I thought I kind of wrote it around the idea of how can I make like as many stupid faces as I can possibly make, and that's like the center of it. And then it was like just expanded out from there. In the production, it took 3 days of just let's just all lock in, you know. So we all kind of agreed, you know, just do whatever we got to do. It was like 12-hour days, you know. It's indie film, man, you know. And it was, you know, it was all in one location, you know. You had to write with the budget, you know what I mean. So it was, I would say that in total it was about 3.5 because then we had to, you know, go back, you know, forgot something or, you know, something didn't come out as right. So it was, we locked in, we got it done. 3.5 days.
And you did a fantastic job. Multi-hyphenate filmmaking. Talk to us about that process.
It's pretty stressful. But a lot of it had to, you know, it wasn't just me. It was, you know, like my DP really like saved my ass, you know, getting the team together, this, you know, the sound, the lighting. I had to rely on a lot of people to really like help me out. You know, my brain was being pulled in a million directions while I'm directing it. I'm trying to get the lines as well. We had some friends come on, you know, a couple PAs that were like super helpful. One thing I won't recommend doing because it was in one apartment, there was a lot of people, is don't get Mexican. And you know, I wasn't thinking too hard. I was like, just run out. Like there's a Mexican spot. It's like just get the Mexican. And especially the bathroom scene, it was, you know, we all.
We learn as you go.
You know, we all got real close after. So yeah, it was you know, it was stressful, but you know, it got done. You know, and I had to rely on a lot of people and you know, learn a lot as I was going. You know, I mean, I was like, why? I mean, I slept for like 12 hours after that was done, man. You know, I was like, I don't have to think about things right now. You know, it's the first one in, last one out.
Is this your first project doing that?
Yeah, doing all this, yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, I would do it again if I had to. Maybe, you know, maybe it's a little easier on the second time, you know?
No.
All right.
Did you also cast it?
Yeah, I did. Actually, the lead, Sophia, the actress named Sophia, the character Daniela, that was supposed to be for a guy. I originally wrote it as like two dudes, but the auditions I got, it wasn't like working. And then she auditioned, and I was like, wait a minute, something's cooking. You know, I was like, wait, this is something here. And I had to change up the script a little bit, but I thought it actually made the dynamic a lot better to have a female presence in there instead of just like make it like a bro film. You know, I thought it actually worked a lot better.
You got really applause for that.
Thank you. Go women, you know.
Go women. There's a T-shirt. What's it like having a cast for a person who's going to be talking to you?
A lot of it had to do with what's our dynamic going to be like. You know, are we gonna click? Right? It has to. You know, can we bounce off each other? You know, I'm the crazy, you're the straight person. You know, how can we? What's the dynamic going to be like? You know, is it going to be funny? You know, is it just going to click? Is it going to work? And that's why I thought she did a really good job, because when she came on, she was very reactive to my like craziness. So I thought it was very comfortable actually, because I knew what I wanted. You know, I knew what I wanted. I was looking for. So I was looking for someone that was gonna really make me look like I'm doing absolutely like the wrong things. So I thought she did a good job of that.
That's actually something I've been talking to people about. I would love to kind of live in this moment for a little bit. What's it like as a director and a producer walking into a project where you know what you want in your head, but also finding that space where you can have a collaboration and playtime? I ask good questions.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Well, so I did know what I wanted, and which was very helpful because in getting what I wanted from the actors in the scene, because they, naturally, especially in comedy, there's a lot of riffing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that wasn't actually in the script, but it's a balance of letting the actors riff while also getting the point of the scene down. Are we accomplishing what the scene is supposed to accomplish in this moment? But also go nuts. I was very open to literally say anything, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's okay. It doesn't. I wasn't very strict on anything. I was, look, man, we had Mexican, all right. Nothing. There were no rules, all right. Everything. We just did stuff, and then it just got done.
How long? How long from you're sitting in your office chair at work writing the script to our first day of production?
It took me 3 months solid to write the script. I had a lot of downtime. All right. Yeah, it took me about 3 months to write it, and obviously it took a lot longer. Get out of the crew. It was a very slow process. I'm lucky that I had friends, that know friends, and we kind of just. What was nice, it was it was a very intimate setting with a lot of people, so it was a good thing that we all got along. I made sure that everyone was, was as comfortable as possible because we had to like lock in for a couple days, and then there was the editing, and that took like 8 months. It took a long time because everyone's got full-time jobs, man. It's indie film, you know what I mean? And my DP edited, and I was there with him, but we live far away from each other. So, I had to just make the trek down all the way to Brooklyn. I'm from New York, by the way. So I had to make the trek down to Brooklyn, if you guys know where that is. But yeah, it was 3 months.
Nice. Itching, burning questions. Right in the middle, hand shot up immediately. Yes, sir.
So, out of all your hyphens in this movie, which one do you like the most?
Oh, dude, acting in it, man. That was great. I would love to just say the shit, on the camera. That was the most fun. Actually, directing was a lot of fun. I didn't think I would like it so much. It's just that with directing, I was also having other things on my mind. So that was a little more stressful, but like I felt most comfortable when I was just, making the face right there.
I think you had a question right in front of him.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you actually shoot that in Bushwick?
It was Bay Ridge.
It
It was Bay Ridge. Yeah. Yeah, I shot at a friend's place, but a haunt in Bay Ridge, it doesn't really like, you know what I mean? Sound is good, so you had to ask that question, man. That's a good question. Oh, man.
Yes, in the back.
I personally really love the choice to have the sound design be different when the ghost is speaking.
Yeah.
What inspired that choice, or like what other kinds of ideas did you have about how to differentiate between a ghost and a human in this universe?
So it's a good question. I like that question. When we did it, I didn't want any CGI. I wanted it to like look good. You know what I mean? The budget wasn't all that. You know what I mean? So I didn't want any CGI. And when we filmed it, I had no intention of altering the ghost. But we realized it actually didn't come off as like the audience they may not even know that this dude is a ghost. It might just be a guy that's just kind of a douchebag. So we had to alter the voice. We actually went through a lot of alterations with the voice. Sometimes it was too much. We had to pull it back. That was like kind of quite a bit of tweaking we did. That's why it took a little bit longer. We had to make sure we got that down, because I didn't want to overdo it, but I also didn't want to have it too little where, when I was showing it to people that had never seen it before, and I was like, what did you think? Honest thoughts tell me, and some people didn't actually get that he was a ghost. So I had to tweak that voice. It took quite a bit to get that down.
I like that. I think it worked well. Any other questions? If you go back to your, oh yes, I'm sorry, please.
I have two questions. Was the Ed Hardy shirt an homage to 2007?
Yeah.
My man. That's my man right there. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
My second question is, had you ever worked with your crew before, or was that your first time? And if it was, like, what was that like? And what was it like picking your people?
That was the first time working with most of the crew, but it wasn't my first time working with my DP. We're friends, and everyone else was like a friend of a friend, so it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too fresh. The actors were new. I didn't know them. I got my lead when I was a PA. I was just like, hey, anyone know anyone that's an actor? I'm getting, because I was getting these auditions and it wasn't working. It was like, does anyone know anyone? I was like, I'll take anything. And they sent me her. So that was the first time working with her. And then the date, Mallory, she was also like a friend of a friend. So it was kind of like it was a pretty close production, man. We're all just thank God we all got along, dude, because we had to spend a lot of time together.
If you have to go back to yourself when you first started production,
Don't ask me this. Man.
give yourself advice for these guys to have advice. What would you tell yourself?
Make a lot of money. Make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Get a big studio to back the next film. No, but actually, if I had to go back and give advice to, let's say, myself, I would probably say to make sure I get all the shots that I need. At one point I did take some feedback. When she punches her at the end, at first I wanted it to be incredibly silly, like the feet sliding across, and she just like wails her in the face. But when we filmed it, I was getting my DP was telling me we may want to cover some other areas so it can come off clear. And I was like, no, dude, we got it, man. Don't worry about it. We got it. Moving on. And it turns out he was right. So a lot of post was editing that. So I would say, make sure when you're there, you get everything you need. So that's kind of a rookie mistake on my end.
First thing to you guys, they are your best friends.
Yep.
Where can we find you next?
New York. But
In the lobby.
Yeah, in the lobby. So next is I have a pitch deck for this that I'm finalizing right now. So I want to keep pushing this out. I had a lot of fun doing that. If I could do anything more with it, that'd be great. And then I also have my next script written down for my next project, which is it's a jiu-jitsu comedy, because jiu-jitsu I feel like is a growing sport, and it's also hilariously intimate. So I think it's really, you get a lot of funny stuff, and I can make a lot of more faces than that.
A Haunting in Bushwick.
Thank you guys. Thank you.